yes, look, I mean, you wanted Sami to come out clearly and tell all of us what exactly he was seeking from CHRAJ.
Yes.
But of course, he just gone straight to give us recommendations of CHRAJ and findings of CHRAJ, as it were. I'm not sure he was able to just tell us that, look, I asked for A,
no, I stated
B, C, D.
Yes, I stated that. The
Well,
procurement
that's fine.
breaches.
That's fine.
And then the conflict of interest, the double identity.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And now, on the procurement breaches, on the law, we all agree that, yes, we have an establishment called the PPA. We all agree that all public entities who are supposed to enter into contract or whatever must do that with recourse to the PPA. If CHRAJ have actually made their findings and think that the due process of the law wasn't followed or the actual course wasn't followed, yes, these are findings that they have made. Answers are supposed to be, gotten from the trustee or the board of trustees. And if they feel it is not so, or they feel otherwise, if they have an appellate process to, ventilate their views and also...
You mean the cathedral?
The cathedral board. Okay. And also tell us that, look, we didn't do anything wrong. They have the right to also, or they reserve the right to also go on that process. But you see, it's interesting how we paint the picture conclusively, as if that is the end. I am saying that...
I don't understand.
No, yes, I'm saying that if a report of this nature is out, Doc, and it involves very, 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 important personalities in this country, not just, individuals we all respect, okay, and Sami also alludes to that. It's important we hear from them as well. And the last time I checked, it appears they're seeking to contest these findings to the extent that some were even making comments of going to court.
Really?
Yes, well, I don't know, but it is not official as it were. But I've heard that they are contesting the outcome, or some are contesting the outcome of these findings, as it were, because they may have their, input. Like you rightly asked, whether when the information was given to CHRAJ that we have agreed not to take meetings or minutes at our meetings, we have agreed not to have records. Your question to that effect was, did CHRAJ go extra mile to establish that with the entirety of the board that we have? You and I do not know that before even this came out.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked, because you see, CHRAJ says that, and not just CHRAJ. We know that strikes. That's the law. If a board decides to take a facility, the board decides to take a facility, there must be minutes to reflect that decision.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Now, CHRAJ says that there was no documentary evidence to that, because, mind you, take note of the fact that this was a specific allegation.
Absolutely.
Bordering on conflict of interest. And so the processes leading to a determination of whether indeed it constitutes conflict of interest or not is what we expect CHRAJ to deal with. Now, CHRAJ is telling us in this document that there was no documentary proof. Yes, they said that it was a loan.
They all agreed.
They didn't provide anything to back it. However, they told us that amongst them, there is this agreement. They can take these decisions without documentary proof.
Yeah.
That's what you were told by those who represented the board.
And your issue is,
now,
did they go...
Now, if you look at their conclusion, on the basis of the absence of documentary evidence, and on the basis of the assertion that amongst us, we agree on some of these things, they go ahead to conclude that indeed it was a loan, nothing untoward happened. So that's why I asked that, did they go the extra mile to find out from the individuals who constitute that
whether
board,
the information,
whether indeed because if there were documentary proof, then you will say that there is no basis, because the minutes will tell you who were there and what happened.
Absolutely. But see, Randy, there is this document here supposed to be coming from the National Cathedral, which has to do with an audit conducted okay, by Deloitte or so, is it Deloitte and Touche, which says that statutory audit report of the National Cathedral of Ghana for the period of ended 31st December 2020. And this is what they find.
Take note, Kamal-Deen,
yes.
as you read it,
Oh, yeah.
take note of when the audit ended, the year. Take note of
It
that.
ended, yes, 2020, 31st December 2020.
4 years ago.
Very well, 4 years
And
ago.
also take note of the fact that this
and-
is the National Cathedral's statement, interpretation of the audit. They have not published the audit. We have been demanding a publication of the audit. This is the National Cathedral document. It's not the audit you are reading.
But you listen to what the document says. And the document, I mean, this was written on the 24th of September 2024.
By who?
By the National Cathedral.
Very good.
Okay? Indicating that an audit has been conducted, and this is the report in the tentative they've had from the auditors. Now, the auditor says that the auditors have confirmed.
It's not the auditors who are saying.
Okay,
It's the
that-
National Cathedral who is saying.
the information says that the auditors have confirmed and corroborated all receipts and expenditures on the project since inception by all parties, including the state. The auditors independently confirmed donations received by the National Cathedral nationwide. The auditors performed the relevant confirmations from all the financial institutions involved in the project. I'm saying, if indeed this document is something to go with, it tells us that there's two sides of the story now.
No.
The National Cathedral, wait a minute. The National Cathedral says, look, an audit has been conducted on us. No adverse findings, as it were.
An audit up to end year 2020.
Sure.
2020. That's why I said take note of that.
I've
2020.
understood that.
Yes. And for any institution that is interested in demonstrating transparency and everything,
Yes.
it's an audit report. This is a public project. No, so it's not a private project.
Absolutely.
And with all the public interest in the matter, why didn't the National Cathedral simply publish the audited accounts for all of us to look at?
Yeah.
Why didn't they do that? Do they have to keep the audited accounts and they tell us what is in that audit account? Is that how it is done?
But Randy, what is important is that has there been an audit on them? And is that established?
Yeah,
Is
we
it-
know. The
except-
commission
except
audit.
to say that the report hasn't been out.
I'm saying
for us
that
to see.
they commissioned an
Yes.
audit.
Yes.
True.
Sure.
This statement you are talking about precedes CHRAJ. It precedes they going to CHRAJ and CHRAJ concluding on whatever is done. This audit they are talking about, the audits that were done were up to 2020. Don't forget that the cathedral did not cease to exist from December 31st, 2020. Now I'm saying that in the spirit of transparency and everything, we are dealing with people who are deemed to be closer to heaven than all of us. In the spirit of transparency, there's a public interest matter. You have communicated to us publicly that you have appointed. In fact, there was a letter from some of the trustees demanding an audit.
Yes, I saw.
Yes, and that those documents were made public. Then the appointment of the auditors was made public, and all this clergy says that look, the way forward will be dependent on the outcome of the audit. The audit has been concluded. What is the right thing to do? Don't you have to publish the audit?
You would have to publish the audit as it.
Yes, but
Just
you
like-
have to
like
keep the
that.
audit, and you come and tell us that the audit says there was nothing wrong.
Well,
This CHRAJ one we are talking about is the CHRAJ document not public.
it is.
Yes. So although there are summary, CHRAJ even has a summary. So on what basis am I asking the questions I'm asking? It is on the basis that there is a copy of the CHRAJ report.
Absolutely.
So I'm able to then interrogate it. That if you say this is what happened, how did you reach this conclusion? Do you understand what I'm saying? So a public interest matter where you have this top senior members of society, I even want to put their clergy things aside, who have come out to say that, hey, we want an audit. With all the brouhaha that is going on. You say, yes, we've commissioned an audit. We've chosen one of the top 4 to do the audit. The audit has been done.
Yeah.
Why do you keep the audit in your armpit and tell us that?
I agree with you when we ask for the report by the auditors to be made public. I agree completely with you because of the integrity of the people involved even is at stake, which is very important. I would also like to say that, look, this report by CHRAJ indeed is what we have now. And having that now, question is, are we demanding answers now from the Board of Trustees? Now, if we are demanding answers now from the Board of Trustees based on the, report that we have now, it is important the Board of Trustees come out to explain to us why PPA was not actually contacted for rebody contract. It is important for them to come out to tell us that, look, this is the amount so far we have expended, and this is how we have gone about it. So I'm saying, yes, we have this report, but we expect more to this report now coming from the National Cathedral for us to have a conclusive, argument or discussion on this matter,
right,
as it were. Yes, what was the intent of the National Cathedral, Randy? Good intention. Nobody will say that, look, the Christian community in this country should not have an interdenominational, edifice where we can have our worship going on, as it were. It was a good intent by the President of the Republic of Ghana and by the government of Nanado. However, in the course of that, we've had one or two instances which we feel that is not proper. Okay? Like I said, explanation must come to that effect, but we should not seek to chastise the product entirely. My view is that, look, there are other countries where we've had, this National Cathedral running. We've had, edifices like this, of course, been there, and they use it to the benefit of the nation, especially when we see it falls under museums, as it were, and monuments, where we're going to see tourism, a boost for tourism, as it were. But it's important that every step of the way, whatever we do, there should be clarity. So I agree with Sami, of course, when he peruses these documents and asks questions and expect answers for us to be clear on this. These are men who we all respect, and these are people I believe that will come out to respond to some of these findings so that at the end of the day, we will all be clear the way forward.